Greetings and salutations to all of the kings and queens out there in the world. I would like to introduce you to another episode of the Kingly Discussions podcast as we give a special bonus episode for the Christmas holiday. Today, our special bonus episode is going to be talking about to believe or not to believe in Santa Claus. This is very controversial. We've always been talking about Santa Claus all our life. Some people want to believe in it. Some people don't want to believe in it. However, we're going to talk about it today. So, me personally, as I grew up, my mom and my dad, they broke it to me at an early age. But what I'm going to say is today, allow your children to vast into the magic of Christmas. And when I say vast into the magic of Christmas, what I literally mean is let them enjoy being a child. Of course, you don't want to have them growing up living in a lie, so to speak. But at the same time, allow them to be joyous of the occasion that comes once a year for them. It's festive. It's supposed to be happy, right? So allow children to be children. They're only going to be children for a little while, right? But they have a whole life ahead of them to be an adult. So allow children to be children before we go any further. Allow children to be children. So what we're going to be talking about today, like I said, is to believe or not to believe in Santa Claus. So my upbringing, like I said, is a little bit differently than everyone else's. So I grew up in all churches. I'm just going to go ahead and break that into the mold. I grew up in mostly a Methodist church, a AME Zion church, not AME. Don't get it confused. Not CME, but AME Zion. All right. African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. That's what I grew up in. But, you know, mama didn't have us just going to one church. We went to all churches. We went to Holiness churches, Pentecostal churches. We went to Methodist churches. We went to churches in the whole. I mean, we went everywhere. All right. So it wasn't just one particular church that we went to, and the understandings of Santa Claus is different in each church that you go to. So one specific culture would say, you better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. I think I messed up the words a little bit, but hey, you understand it. So one culture has that, and another culture says, that, if you're caught doing the wrong thing, then you'll get a bag of coal, or you won't get what you want to get. So all those are different depictions of cultures. So the root in the culture for Santa Claus that I was raised up in, and my points of reference, my resource that I'm using is a AME Zion book that I was afforded to purchase, and it's called Learning Through Symbolism and Celebrations, and it is authored by Dr. Mary A. Love. And I essentially love this book. Dr. Mary Love did a really good job in finding the sources of resources, and really researching exactly the root of a lot of symbolisms throughout the Methodism belief and tradition. So Santa Claus, and this is just for y'all's information to take and use for however that you want to disseminate. So Santa Claus, the case when it comes to Santa Claus is one of Santa Claus's names is what we call Saint Nicholas, right? So if you Google Saint Nicholas, you will find out he actually was a real person, right? He was an actual person who lived in the 300 AD, okay? And the legend has it that Saint Nicholas was actually a real person, and as a boy, he was a bishop. So for points of references to go back and check my source, he actually lived he was a bishop of Myra, but he actually lived in the town of Lycia. Okay. Now the town of Lycia is known today as Turkey. Right? Yeah. Santa Claus, the one that we look at, the Santa Claus that we see is actually from Turkey. Yeah, so it's actually from Turkey. And the legend that's passed down from generation to generation is that he would go out through the night, right, to deliver gifts to the needy. And he later on became a saint. He created a saint of school of boys who celebrated feast day on December 6th. All right, that's the anniversary of his specific death. So now that's that, version, Saint Nicholas. That's that version right there. So that shows you the depiction of that culture's Santa Claus. So now the other custom, the other depiction, the other culture, which is in Germany, began where a person named Pels Nickel, right, was told about the behavior of children by the parents. And in turn, if they were good, he would give them presents, right? And if they were bad, he would give them a bundle of switches or a bunch of sticks. So this is, y'all see kind of how everything is kind of forming into the Santa Claus legend. So one culture would say one thing, and then another culture would say another thing. So this is how the two cultures came together. It led to the name change from Saint Nicholas as well as Pels Nickel to Santa Claus. Okay. And Saint Nicholas, he focused, or wherever you want to call him, Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus, wherever you want to call him, he represents the spirit of giving. Okay. All right. So what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying let children be children, let them bask into the magic of Christmas, let them bask into the magic of Santa Claus is because it's this Santa Claus in root tradition, in root understanding, exegesis and disseminates the spirit of giving. We struggle with that in the world today. Everybody wants to take. I want to take this. I want to take that. I want to get this. I want to get that. But who is actually giving? I don't have to give Bible verse references. I don't have to give a whole exegesis or theological presentation on and take a subject text on any of this stuff. Everyone knows that the world is based upon taking. Eventually, somebody is going to have to give. So what I say and what I'm encouraging everyone is to allow the spirit of giving to disseminate upon the hearts of our children. Then we can raise up a generation. Notice I said raise up a generation that is literally founded upon the spirit of giving. Now, the spirit of giving is not made by simply just giving everything you have. It's giving out of the need, out of the necessity. The challenge that faces us today is how much do you give? When do you give, right? How should you give? Like, these are the questions that we have whenever it comes to giving, and that's okay. But what I would suggest is making sure that you have a balance of giving and receiving. Just as well as it is good to give, it is just the same as the will to receive. So the spirit of giving is the foundation of the legend of Santa Claus. And what I'm expressing to you is to allow your children to be able to make the conscious choice to believe or not believe in Santa Claus. It's okay. We all know eventually what is going to happen whenever we find out that if Santa Claus is true or not. But for as long as people want to believe in Santa Claus, let them believe. Let them vast in the spirit of giving. Let them vast in the magic of Christmas time. That's the same thing that God did for us. In closing, that's the same thing God did for us. God, in his spirit of giving, gave us his only son. That's what he did for us. He gave us the only thing that he was able to produce out of himself, literally himself in human form, the full embodiment of him. He gave that. And he said, this is the only, in essence, this is what he said. This is my offering to humanity. People, this is what I'm saying today. Give out of necessity and allow your children to vast in the magic of Christmas time. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I love you all much. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas holiday. Thank you all for attending to the Kingly Discussions podcast. You can stream this episode on Apple Podcasts. You can stream this episode on Spotify. I don't know what the world is going on with Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio, but we're going to be coming to them very soon. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me at King J Lou on Instagram, and on Twitter, you can follow me at King J Lewis 357. And also, don't forget about my wonderful and eminent and goat of all goats, my co-host, Sterling Gerard Mason. You can connect with him as well on social media as well. Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. God bless.